If you've been asked to attend a police interview under caution as a suspect, you might wonder, will the police show me the evidence before I speak? This video breaks it down. I'll explore common allegations that could lead to a police interview under caution, whether the police will arrest you or ask you to attend a voluntary police interview, the rules on police disclosure prior to the police interview beginning, and I'll be referring to PACE Code C paragraph 11. I'll also explore why the police might share or withhold evidence with you or your lawyer before the police interview under caution, your options during the police interview, and the best strategies for different scenarios. So what kind of criminal allegations are we talking about when the police might want to talk to you? Police interviews often involve serious and minor allegations like assault, theft, criminal damage, or road traffic offences like dangerous driving. So whether you're accused of breaking someone's nose, shoplifting, smashing a window, or failing to stop after an accident, the police will want your account or lack of one on record. That's when a police interview under caution is called for as part of their police investigations, and you are in the spotlight as the suspect. Will the police arrest you or ask you to attend a police interview as a volunteer? The police might arrest you or invite you to attend a voluntary police interview under caution as a suspect of an offence or two. Either way, it's a formal process, not a group hug or a chat down the pub. The caution given to you at the police interview reminds you you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, and I've prepared other posts explaining what the caution means. So do the police have to disclose evidence before you are interviewed? And here's the critical question. Will the police tell you or your lawyer what evidence they've gathered before the police interview under caution begins? For example, you might want to know if the police have a witness statement or CCTV footage, or have your bank records or phone messages. Now, under PACE Code C paragraph 11(1)(a), it's broken down into two parts. And it's all about police disclosure prior to the police interview. And in my view, both parts contradict each other. On the one hand, Code C says this: before a person is interviewed, they, and if they are represented, their solicitor, must be given sufficient information to enable them to understand the nature of any offence and why they are suspected of committing it, in order to allow for the effective exercise of their rights of the defence. And then on the other hand, the next sentence reads, however, whilst the information must be sufficient for the person to understand the nature of any offence, see note 11ZA, this does not require the disclosure of details at a time which prejudices the criminal investigation. The decision about what needs to be disclosed for the purpose of this requirement therefore rests with the investigating officer, who has sufficient knowledge of the case to make that decision. Now, 11ZA tries to give some detail what should be disclosed, and it states this: what is sufficient will depend on the circumstances of the case, but it should normally include, as a minimum, a description of the facts related to the suspected offence that are known to the officer, including the time and the place in question. This aims to avoid suspects being confused or unclear about what they are supposed to have done, and to help an innocent suspect to clear the matter up more quickly. In other words, no police interviewer is obliged to disclose information to the suspect or their solicitor if that would prejudice the investigation or criminal proceedings. This means there is no legal duty to show you or your lawyer any evidence whatsoever before the police interview. However, because the suspect must be given sufficient information to enable them to understand the nature of the offence and why they are suspected of committing it, in practice, this means the police may explain the allegation in very broad terms, but they won't necessarily let you see the evidence. So why might the police withhold evidence from you or your lawyer prior to the police interview? The rationale, according to police, is simple. Revealing evidence too soon might allow you, as the suspect, to tailor your answer to fit the evidence. So, for example, if the police reveal your fingerprints have been found in a stolen car prior to the police interview, you might say in the police interview that this is because you were given a lift from your friend. The police therefore may choose not to disclose evidence prior to the police interview if they want to test your account is truthful without leading you. and they're protecting an ongoing investigation. But why might the police disclose evidence to you or your lawyer before the police interview? Sometimes the police share evidence to prompt cooperation. For example, they might show CCTV footage or messages and ask you for your explanation. And sometimes the friendly police officers, and yes, I've come across many of them, are being helpful. They don't want you to be charged. So what are your options during the police interview? You have basically 3 options. And yes, there are more, but I can't give away too many of my secrets. 1, no comment. This is often the safest approach if you haven't seen the evidence and you're concerned about contradicting the evidence. 2, prepare a statement. A pre-written account guided by legal advice avoids the risk again of contradiction of that evidence not previously disclosed. And 3, answer questions. This might be appropriate if the police have been open and you're confident in your position. So what is the best strategy for the police interview? If the police are being cagey and are withholding evidence prior to police interview, then no comment is often the best to avoid any contradictions or traps. And I prepared a video about police ambush in a police interview, so please check that one out. What you can also do is, while giving a no comment interview, is to use the police interview as a listening exercise to discover the evidence the police are holding back. Then you can consider your options during a break in the police interview, whether to keep going no comment or to begin answering questions. With cagey police officers, lawyers should also consider making an opening statement about the unfairness behind the lack of disclosure prior to the police interview, and how, if any new evidence is disclosed, they will be asking the interview to be stopped. And check out the post about making opening statements. However, if you have a friendly police officer who's open about the evidence, has disclosed the evidence prior to the police interview, answering carefully could work in your favor. And finally, police interviews can shape the outcome of your case. So it's vital for you to understand the responsibilities the police have under PACE Code C and your rights. Always get legal advice before the police interview under caution for the case you are involved in. Stay informed, stay protected, feel free to comment and hit that subscribe and follow for more.